Well, we've made it to the exciting moment in the program where we get to turn to the stars of the day, our 2025 7/70 honorees for our presentation of these beautiful awards. These art pieces, each honoree will receive today, they're custom engraved with their names, and they commemorate this 2025 honor. This year, these awards are made possible by Truliant Federal Credit Union. Their partnership, of course, helps recognize service that has strengthened Forsyth County for decades. Now, collectively, the 2025 honorees have dedicated hundreds of years in service representing diverse fields, from education to justice, health to arts, neighborhood development to human services. Whether through classrooms, courtrooms, nonprofits, or neighborhoods, they've touched lives, lifted voices, and created change that matters, exemplifying community service and impact. We're going to ask each honoree to make their way to the podium as their name is called to receive their award. They'll be able to share their remarks with you, some reflections and maybe some insights and more inspiration with us. We're going to start with our first honoree, Sandra Parker Adams. During her more than 40-year career as a visionary educator and former head of Summit School, Sandra Parker Adams led major campus expansions, helped shape regional and national independent school leadership. During her encore years, in addition to her membership on a wide spectrum of boards, she's been a dynamic cornerstone at Senior Services. Board chair, campaign cabinet member, governance leader, helping spur a successful capital campaign and grow intergenerational programs at the nationally acclaimed Intergenerational Center for Arts and Wellness. Congratulations, Sandra. You're going to want us to step over here.
The only way I really qualify to be up here is that I'm so over 70. I am way, way over. I'm honored to be here, and when you hear the stories of my fellow honorees, you're going to realize what I've done is just pales in significance, but I am happy to be here. I was lucky to be born into a family where service was a way of being. Not something you do, not a duty, not an obligation, but a way of being. And I think that has been able to continue with me through my life because of luck. I was lucky to go to Wake Forest. I was lucky to change from pre-med to Latin because Latin led me to student teaching, where I met my wonderful partner in life, and that led to two wonderful children and 3 grandchildren, all luck, all because of Latin. No wonder I love Latin. And then it led me to Summit, where I was surrounded by the best of humanity. My wonderful colleagues who would do anything to help children succeed, wonderful supportive parents, and the students who allowed us to be part of their becoming, and some of them in this room right now who are over 70 themselves, thank you. All luck. And then to be able to come to this Senior Services Board. Yes, I was on a lot of boards, but none pulled at my heart more than this one. And I'm so grateful that I met leaders here who believed so in the mission, staff who live that mission day by day and do their part to help our wonderful older adults stay at home and live with dignity and purpose for as long as they can. So I have been lucky to be able to serve. One of my early memories is my father saying to me one day when we came back from delivering baskets of fruit, and they were not tiny baskets, they were peach baskets of fruit, to what we called homebound church members, looking at me and saying, "Sandra, you are so lucky to be able to help others," and that's what I feel.
Thank you for all that you've done, Sandra. Our next honoree is a gentleman that I had the honor and pleasure of working with for a number of years at WXII and has gone on from there to do great things and continue to do great things in our community. Gene Blackwelder. As a living expression of the Rotary Club's motto, service above self, Gene Blackwelder is a hands-on worker, leader, master connector. He has a unique ability to turn creative events into significant philanthropic opportunities, from helping to create record-setting Junior Diabetes Research Foundation Walk to hosting numerous Rotary comedy roasts, which I believe I danced at one, which should have never happened, and that generate substantial financial support, all for local charities. That's what we did it for. Gene uses his amazing wit and talent to help others. Former colleagues, like myself, praise his client service, relentless optimism, and his ability to galvanize volunteers for health, arts, and youth causes. Gene believes that nonprofits are the glue that holds our society together. Gene Blackwelder.
Okay.
He's off to the right here.
Thank you, Lanny, for that nice introduction. I want to thank Senior Services for selecting me as one of the 7 over 70 honorees. As I was looking at the list of former honorees and today's honorees, I noticed that a lot of them had done big things. I've never done anything big, but I've tried to do my part to help make the community a better place to live. And I've had a lot of help along the way, and I want to thank my family, friends, volunteers, and coworkers who've been with me every step of the way. I learned a long time ago that everybody has a life story, and everybody's life story is special. I've tried to be a good listener my whole life, and as I've met lots of wonderful people through the years, I've tried to validate their life story and let them know how important they are. Whether I've been teaching tennis, working with volunteers, business owners, or honorees at Comedy Roast, it's been my pleasure to listen and learn from all the great stories that I've heard from people through the years. Now, speaking of tennis, tennis is a difficult game. A lot of people give it up because it's not easy. I always tried to give my students the feeling that they had the self-confidence and the skills that they could master the game of tennis. My biggest contribution to the game of tennis, however, was that I introduced the National Tennis Rating Program to all the tennis players in North Carolina. You know, golf has always had a handicap system. Tennis did not. The United States Tennis Association decided they were going to create a rating program, a ranking program. They called it the National Tennis Rating Program, NTRP. They invited each state to send one person to their headquarters to be trained so that all 50 states would learn all this together. I volunteered to go for North Carolina. When I got back home after the training, I used one day a week where I went to cities all over North Carolina, from Asheville to Greenville, to rate people to get this system started. I told the pros, bring your students. You and I are going to learn how to rate them. And then when we get through, we will have created some benchmark, like 3-0 players. The rating system is 1 to 7, beginner, 7 world-class player. Benchmark 3-0s, 4-0s, 5-0s, and then you can use these benchmark models to rate all the people in your cities. It worked. All the cities use the same system, and we now have tens of thousands of tennis players in North Carolina playing in NTRP tournaments and leagues. Buff Perry and Ann Hummel founded the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. I was their first employee. They brought with them a group of passionate volunteers who were willing to work long hours and do almost anything to raise money to find a cure for diabetes. Those volunteers inspired me. I worked alongside them as we worked toward this important goal. I had a chance to work at WXI selling advertising to business owners, and it was a wonderful opportunity. You know, business owners are actually visionaries because they all have a vision for their business and they're willing to work long hours to make it happen. And I had a chance to meet a lot of interesting business owners. I would learn as much as I could about their business and come back to them with partnership opportunities, ideas to help grow their business, while at the same time I kept reminding them how important their role was in our community. I've been a Rotarian for 25 years. Our motto is service above self. We go out every week and try to make the community a better place to live. With the help of a lot of wonderful volunteers, I do comedy roast for nonprofits. Here's the way it works. We go out to a prominent member in the community and ask, what's your favorite charity? They tell us, and then we say, would you be willing to let us use your good name to raise money for your favorite charity? After they say yes, we bring in comedians, celebrities, we roast, honor them, we treat them like a king on their special night. All the money goes to local charities. Now, those of you who know me know that I'm a big Dean Martin fan. And I think Dean Martin was a very lucky man because in 1946, he partnered with a clown called Jerry Lewis. And Jerry Lewis made Dean laugh and smile almost every single day the 10 years that they were together. I think I'm a luckier man than Dean Martin because my partner, my wife Karen Blackwelder, has supported me and made me laugh and smile for 39 years. And she did it again this morning. If you know me, you know that if you give me a compliment, it goes straight to my head. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. So you can imagine this morning as I'm getting ready for this luncheon, my head is so big I can barely get my head underneath the door frame. I'm in the bathroom getting ready for this event, and I'm in there admiring myself in the mirror. My wife comes in because she has to get ready too. And when she comes in, I start talking excitedly, and I say, Karen, this is a big event. Nobody's ever recognized me like this. I'm so excited. And then I paused for a second and turned to Karen and said, Karen, how many great men do you think there are in the world? To which she sweetly replied, one less than you think, honey. Thank you to all the Senior Services does in the community, and thank you to all of you who showed up to support the honorees and Senior Services. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Jean. We're going to move on now to our number 3 on our list, who is Mary Ann Campbell Davis. With her signature grace and compassion, Mary Ann Campbell Davis has created a deep and broadly effective career in education. As an elementary school teacher for 35 years, and through her many leadership connections with her alma mater, Salem College. Her passion for education comes full circle as she maintains lifelong friendships with past students who are now successful educators themselves. She continues her volunteer activities, which include board leadership and donor engagement at Crisis Control and tutoring young minds. Mary Ann Campbell Davis.
I am so deeply grateful to be receiving this award today, especially because I am one of 2 educators in this distinguished group of people. If ever there were a time to recognize the value of education, it is now. Our teachers and our schools need our support. I hope that all of you will find a way to make a difference. Thank you, Senior Services, for this honor today, and I thank all of my family and friends who took time out of their day to be here with me. I appreciate it so much. I grew up in a small North Carolina town where my mother was my second grade teacher. Everywhere we went, a former student of hers would stop to speak to her with obvious affection and admiration. Does that sound familiar, Claire and Eloise? My granddaughters think I taught half of Forsyth County. But maybe because my mother was such a beloved teacher, I fought being a teacher. I was going to be in business. But eventually the call was too strong. I attended Salem College, and 26 years after I graduated, I joined the faculty there, eventually serving as the director of teacher education. Now I was teaching those who wanted to be teachers, and my joy was just as great as it was when I was teaching math to my elementary kids. When I retired after 41 years as an educator, I told myself that I was going to go out and volunteer, and that I would volunteer anywhere but in schools. But again, I failed. I am now in my 10th year of volunteering at my granddaughter's school, and this is the highlight of my every week. I love those kids. Thank you, Crisis Control. You're out there somewhere, people. Thank you for letting me join your board. You have taught me about need in our community. I appreciate the ways that we meet the needs of others by teaching our clients life skills so that they can improve their lives. You are another example of how important education is. Giving to others is not just a way for me to fill my days now that I'm retired. It is who I am. It is what gives me purpose and joy. I'm so grateful for all the opportunities that I've had which have allowed me to have a life of service, and I thank you all today. Thank you.
Congratulations, Marianne. Our next honoree is Bill Davis. After a 35-year career as a respected attorney, and at the age of 62, Bill Davis decided to pursue a master's degree in landscape architecture and another in liberal studies. This led to combining his legal acumen with design skills, which he used to advance the Business 40 project, ultimately bringing 2 pedestrian bridges and a strollway bridge across Salem Parkway, and the Twin Arches across Highway 52 at Winston-Salem State University. He has served as board chair of multiple organizations involved in education, arts, environmental conservation, and economic development, and he's helped integrate public art and quality design into civic infrastructure while continuing to lead within senior living and elder care philanthropy. I can't say that word, sorry. All right, we're going to take now Bill Davis here.
Thank you, everybody. Those of you who know me know that I'm generally uncomfortable at being singled out or in a situation like this. But I do want to thank Jonathan Halsey for thinking that I might merit this award and for going to the time and trouble of doing an application in my behalf. I haven't seen the application, but I know it was well done because he did it, and well, here I am. So it must have been well done. And Jonathan, thank you. It means a lot to me. What we're here to doing today is celebrating volunteerism in our community. And this community has just a tremendous heritage and tradition of volunteerism. And I just look out here at all these people here today, and all of you are volunteering your time to be here and are celebrating the volunteer tradition that we have. And it's very important that we have situations and events like this where we can celebrate volunteerism and encourage volunteerism and keep it rolling. Because if we don't, if we just take it for granted, it's probably going to atrophy and go away. So let's keep it up, and let's keep honoring volunteerism. And I know that Judge Hartfield asked everybody to stand once, but I want to thank everybody who's here today, everybody in this room. So for those of you who feel comfortable standing up, please stand. And if you're not comfortable standing, then just think standing. And let's give all of us in this room and all the other volunteers in the community who can't be here today a standing ovation for making our community and better than it would otherwise be. Thank you. We got to do this. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Want to step off to the side here? She can get it over there on the side. Good. Congratulations to Bill. I may try it one more time. Thanks for your elder care philanthropy. That's better, right? Whew, sometimes words trip over me. All right, so our next one, number 5, is Susan Fry. Susan Fry has been a trailblazer in public service since 1976. As the clerk of Superior Court, she has led its 100-person office, and during her tenure helped launch Veterans Treatment Court and the office's early online e-filing efforts. Her ongoing work spans reentry services, youth and family support, and Foundation 34, a nonprofit she founded, designed to strengthen community programs by helping to provide community members with essential needs such as food, clothing, medical supplies, and more, underscoring her commitment to second chances and dignity for all. Susan Fry. She's there. Oh, I see it.
Even though I ran for public office, this is not my comfort zone, so you never get used to it. Some people do, but I'm not one of them. But I want to thank everyone that was involved with this. I want to thank Judge Carrie Vickery and Judge Denise Hartsfield for nominating me for this award so much. Also, I'm honored to be with the group that are here today, to be one of the 7 people that are being honored today. We are so blessed in our county for people who do all these works that you've heard about today. If you read my bio, I did work in a clerk's office, and after retirement, supposedly retirement, I went to work for Sheriff Kimbrough out in the community, which allows me to do the things that they spoke about, being able to volunteer and have food, clothes, and whatever's needed out in the areas of our city. I'm blessed to be able to do that. But not only am I blessed, we're all blessed. No matter what we do, even if it's a smile in the grocery store or helping a mother get a kid into a car seat or whatever you can do, we're helping each other to make a better place to live. If you read my bio also, as retirement, I enjoy a lot of things, and one of them is I'm addicted to Mahjong. And my Mahjong crew is in the back in the corner so they won't get in trouble. But I'm so blessed in my life. My church is here, Pastor Debbie Lanier, and my supporters, Pastor Chris and David Daggett and his wife, and others, many others. The list is on and on. My family is unbelievable. I'm blessed. And I thank God every day for my life and what I've been able to do for this community, and hope I can continue to do for this community with God's blessing. Now I can't lie about my age, so I have to move on. But thank you very much.
We'll let you forever be 69. How about that? Our next honoree is Peggy Moore. So, Peggy Campbell Moore's contributions have significantly shaped the cultural landscape of Forsyth County and the surrounding region. She's brought light to immeasurable contributions of African American art and artists. Through campaign leadership, artist engagement, and steady governance, she helped create and grow the Delta Fine Arts Center. Of course, that is a key arts institution in our community. Her career in academic and school libraries, along with active roles in church, YMCA, and community arts circles, reflects a lifelong devotion to learning, inclusion, and creative community life. Peggy Moore.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see you. This is such an honor, and I was excited until Kima told me that I was going to have to do this. So, but first, let me say that it's absolutely wonderful it is to be honored for doing something that you love and that never really felt like work at all. Truly not enough people get to experience that joy. So thank you, Whitney and Denise and Ernestine and TJ, and for your gracious nomination, and for Senior Services for making it all possible. I hope your plan is to continue this process. It's greatly needed and much appreciated. And thank you to my husband, Clyde, who supports and encourages me in all my projects and finds hanging space still on the walls of our home for the many pieces of art that follow me home from the Delta Arts Center. And to our son, I'm thankful that he's here, and my granddaughter, Michaela. They've been a great enjoyment in my life. So I'm speaking a little about what motivates me today. So my motivation to give back to my community comes from a deep appreciation of others who believed in me and provided opportunities for me to grow. First, my parents, who with meager resources supported me in children's church, 4-H club, May Day celebrations, oratorical contests, drama productions, and on and on and on. My uncle, who was my high school principal, provided whatever extracurricular activities were available during those segregated years to broaden our horizons, and relentlessly and lovingly pushed us to excel, expecting great things of all of us. And then continued nurturing by my Livingstone College family, leading to a graduate school recommendation and a fellowship so that I could pursue my lifelong profession of library science. So I'm personally learned the value of playing it forward and reaching out and helping others, making opportunities available is part of my DNA. Through our work at the Delta Arts Center, opportunities are being provided that open the minds of young people to the creativity of African American artists, who in turn inspired them. The recent edition of the annual Winston-Salem State Senior Art Exhibit warms my heart because it is so exciting to see the seniors, and it boosts their confidence so much. So I found my perfect niche 53 years ago, and have been loved and accepted in a world of creativity and beauty that nurtures and inspires me still. Thank you for this honor.
Our final honoree for our 7 over 70 10th Annual Awards Luncheon this year, David West. David West is a lifelong believer in the inherent worth of young people and a mentor to generations. He spent decades working in the juvenile justice system to reduce recidivism through steady guidance and family engagement. He helped pilot national strategies to prevent youth crime, and as a local leader, he has been the driving force for Winston-Salem's neighborhoods' beautification, public art, digital equity, and storytelling projects that honor history and strengthen social connections. David West.
Thank you. I didn't bring that whistle today, okay? That whistle started me on a trail you can't imagine. But I want to tell you this story all about me. First of all, I want to say good afternoon, my friends and neighbors. Let me get my glass. Thank you. Standing here today as one of the 7 over 70 Impact Awards recipient is both humbling and deeply meaningful. I am grateful beyond words for this honor, but I must tell you, this recognition is not about me alone. It's about the people, the places, and the stories that have shaped my life and fueled my passion for service. I was born and raised right here in Winston-Salem, in the Boston-Thurman neighborhood, in the same house my grandparents lived in and called home. The neighborhood, its people, and its history have been my lifelong classroom. They taught me resilience, pride, and the value of looking out for one another. They also taught me that if you love a place, you take care of it, and you take care of its people. For more than 30 years, I worked in juvenile services. First, at the Forsyth County Juvenile Detention Facility, and then as a juvenile court counselor for the state of North Carolina. I had the privilege of walking alongside young people at crossroads in their lives. Many had made mistakes, but I never believed those mistakes defined them. I saw potential where others saw problems, and my job was to help them see those potentials themselves. Sometimes it was simple words of encouragement like, hang in there. But those words mattered, and I'm blessed to stand here today that they made a difference. Since retiring in 2008, my focus has been closer to home, literally. From starting a safety and beautification program, safe home emergency repair program, securing public arts funds, to producing a documentary that preserved our history. My goal has been simple, to lift up the Boston-Thurman community and shine a light on its richness of its people and their stories. I've been fortunate to work alongside my neighbors, artists, students, professors, videographers, pastors, and yes, even third graders, to record oral histories and to help create a trail close to our neighborhood on the Crossnorth property. And imagine what our neighborhood future could look like as we keep people involved. I accept this award not as the final chapter, but as encouragement to keep going. There is still work to be done, stories to collect, and young lives to encourage, and communities to strengthen. But I do have to tell you this. For me, preserving the past is not about nostalgia. It's about guidance. We can't understand where we're going if we don't understand where we've been. And there are things in our past that we should never go back to, such as redlining and segregation. But there is also wisdom. Thank you. There is also wisdom, strength, and community spirit that we must carry forward. Thank you, Sylvia Oberly, for nominating me. Right? You believed in me, you saw in me. We've been working with each other back since 1999 and 2000. Thank you so much. And thank you for 7 over 70 committee for selecting me. Okay? And thanks to my 93-year-old mother, Helen Smith, who received the Meals on Wheels Monday through Thursday. My son, Brent, thank you, and his wife, Cecilia, thank you as well. And my significant others sitting over there in the white, Dolores Turner. My Kappa brother, Royce Barrett, and this visionary researcher that has me walking around in the neighborhood in 97-degree weather, all right, looking at some of the infrastructure there that needs improvement. Dr. Elise Barella, and my cousin, Josephine Price. Thank you. All right. Is Miss Claudette Weston here? She's behind you. Thank you for that card you sent me. All right? Right after my selection. Thank you so much. And I want to thank the great men of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, the Winston-Salem Alumni Chapel. All right. Who've walked beside me because one of our objectives is to inspire service in the public interest. And to my neighbors who trusted me with their hopes and histories. And thank you to my beloved Boston Thurman for giving me roots deep enough to weather anything and wings strong enough to keep me reaching for what's possible. May we all leave behind a legacy that says, we were here, we made a difference, and we loved our community well. Thank you.
Can't think of a better way to sum it up there. And I knew when I pulled into the parking lot and saw all those red jackets that I was in the right place and it was going to be a party. Remember that you can read more about each of the honorees in the 7 over 70 special section. It's produced by Senior Services and the Winston-Salem Journal. It's at your table. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for coming out, and thank you to all our sponsors for helping make this year's celebration possible, and to the staff of Second Harvest Food Banks, Providence Catering, and the team at Senior Services for taking good care of us today. And just thank you for being a captive audience, and thank you to the honorees personally for continuing to inspire us. One of the reasons I love being at this event is that I get so many words of wisdom like you did from individuals who are so respected in our community and who have done so much for our community and continue to do that. To close our time together, I'd like to bring Kristen Perry of Senior Services to the podium, and she has some closing remarks for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Unless you want to hear me say closing remarks for 30 minutes, I think we're going to get a little time back on our day today, which is nice. So before I'll start, I'll remind you, please feel free to take that extra time back on your day to stay around for a little while, mix, mingle, meet somebody new. If you didn't get a chance to share a few words of inspiration, congratulations, celebration out on our wall out there, please feel free to do that before you leave. That art installation will live in our Generation Center for a few months to come and then be shared with our honorees today as a keepsake. So please make sure you do that before you head out, since we've got a little time left. I want to start by echoing Laney's thanks to everyone who had a hand in making today happen. And I'd like to add a thank you to Miss Laney Pope herself for being our MC this afternoon. She does such an incredible job capturing the essence of each honoree and ushering us through the day, and we are really thankful to have you with us. I hope you have another round of applause in you, because I also can't let our time end without giving thanks to all of our honorees for, for sharing their time and their stories with us. I also have to thank our selection committee, who holds just such a special place in my heart for all that they pour into this process every year. And last but certainly not at all least, the incredible staff at Senior Services. Our team has put many hours into the details of what you've seen and experienced today, and we could not do this without them, so thank you for all the staff who have given to this event today. What an extraordinary afternoon this has been, and such a fitting way to mark our 10th anniversary milestone. You know, of course, at Senior Services, we love 7 over 70 because it's a wonderful celebration of older adults. It gives us a chance to put their determination, engagement, and really the profound wisdom and impact they've had on display. We get to spotlight the things that we see quietly play out in our programs each and every day in a really special way. 7 over 70 is more than just that, though. It's also a celebration and an embodiment of all the good that happens when generosity, a giving spirit, and caring hearts come together in our community. It's special because it lifts up and shines a light on the things and the causes and the people that make Forsyth County a wonderful place to live, to work, to contribute, and to age. So with that in mind, really, I think my final thank you is to all of you, each and every person in this room. Thank you for being a part of this special community and for being with us today and sharing in this particular moment. I hope, like me, you're leaving with a full heart, a full belly, and perhaps even a renewed sense of passion and commitment. My hope is that that commitment is to honoring, supporting, and celebrating the older adults in our lives and in our community who have paved our way. And obviously, you've taken that step because you're here today. A commitment to finding and nurturing our own passions, understanding that a life lived with purpose is a life that continues to give, and our honorees beautifully demonstrate that. Remembering that our contributions, no matter how big or small they might seem, can create ripples of positive change, and each of our honorees is a testament to that. And finally, a commitment